Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about Mars as it is transiting in the sign of Sagittarius. Remember, Mars is the planet of energy, and it truly is the trigger of major events. So it is so important for me to talk about where Mars is and what it is doing and how it's aspecting other planets throughout this period. Between Mars will be in the sign of Sagittarius from December 27th till February 5th. And I have some important information to reveal during this time. Now, before I continue on, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to my website, galacticcenter.org, and you will get my free predictions delivered to your email address every week. Now, while you're still at my website, check out my Patreon page. I am offering so many discounts and so many opportunities. Shooting Stars class, where you will come together with me, with a group that is completely uncensored. You will get to talk to me firsthand, and furthermore, you will get my magazine, Joni Patry's Astrology Insights, free with Patreon, and exclusive information that you won't get anywhere else. Discounts on my jewelry, my books, my classes, you got it all there. So check out my Patreon page, Patreon Joni Patry, and it's down below. You can directly click on the link to it. Now, I'm also going to be starting a new semester for the University of Vedic Astrology. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com and become my student. So with that, let's continue on. Let's talk about where Mars is. So Mars on December 27th is going to enter into Sagittarius, 0 degrees. But what is fascinating about that day is that Mercury is retrograde. And what happens as Mars is moving direct, Mercury going retrograde is going to pass Mars. They're going to be basically together around 29 degrees of Scorpio right before Mars goes into Sagittarius, and they will also collide and be exactly conjunct at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. Why is this so important? Well, first of all, Mars is aggression, Mars is anger, Mars is hostility. Mars is the planet of war and sudden outbursts of anger, even attacks. With Mercury, Mercury is the communications. So communications will be off, traveling will be off. This is a crazy time because 29 degrees of Scorpio and 0 degrees of Sagittarius, where they will be together, is Gandanta, which means out of control. This is the very last degree of water, very first degree of fire. And as Mars goes into Sagittarius, it will enter into the nakshatra called Mula. Mula is that nakshatra of destruction. So this is a very interesting time of out of control, unexpected events that could happen around this time that Mars and Mercury are together and Gandanta. And Mercury's retrograde, so everything is going haywire. Things are not going smoothly. There's so many upsets. This could even represent some type of violence or attacks. This is a very precarious time. So please lay low around the 27th, give or take a day before or after that, but it happens on the 27th. And this happens to be the day that Mars will go into Sagittarius and into the nakshatra Mula, which is a nakshatra of destruction. And it's actually destruction. The whole myth behind it is to cleanse. So sometimes things need to be destroyed and blown up in order to cleanse and clear things out. So you'll see a lot of this energy. Now, while Mars is in Mula, it will continue to be in Mula. And Mula is also a nakshatra that's ruled by Ketu, so it can deal with destruction, it can deal with losses. As a matter of fact, Mars was in Mula during September 11th. It was with Mula, but it was conjunct Ketu then, which actually really represents terrorism. But this nakshatra is a dangerous nakshatra. And Mars will be in Mula. And actually, this does put some danger around the United States, because for the chart that I use for the United States, the rising ascendant sign sits in Sagittarius, so Mars is going over that. But still, all in all, Mars does cross over into the sign of Sagittarius about every 2 years, and we don't have a catastrophic event like September 11th every 2 years. But it is still a very precarious place, being with Mercury as it is, meaning upsets, or could be something even happening in the travel industry with airlines or things like that. Be aware. Now, Mars will remain in Mula till January 14th, and January 14th, it is then going to go into the nakshatra called Purva Ashada. Now, Purva Ashada is a very interesting nakshatra. Its symbol is a fan, the fan, but what that can actually represent is the fanning of things and fire. And this is a nakshatra that deals with truth, justice. It's actually called the invincible star, but what it's known for, and of course, like I said, Mars does go through this nakshatra once every 2 years, but it is known as the star of declarations of war. So it seems like Mars is really heated up here. This could indicate something dealing with war. And we know in the world right now, people are angry, they're upset, and there's been war in 2 different counts, and now this comes up. So there could be something very striking and dangerous around this time, with Mars being in this nakshatra. And I also noted that while it's in this nakshatra, Mars is in a position where it's going to be squaring Rahu and Ketu, especially in January, and towards the end of January, we have Mars will be squaring the nodal axes. So more towards the end of January, we're going to see even more violence striking out, Mars being in this difficult placement that can deal with attacks and war. So be aware. And anger. Now, by January 31st, Mars will go into the nakshatra Uttara Ashada. So from the 31st of January till February 5th, and February 5th, of course, Mars will move out of Sagittarius and move into Capricorn. But still, all in all, it's going to change nakshatras into Uttara Ashada January 31st. And then it moves on to Capricorn. But during this time, this is a nakshatra that is the second half of the Purva. And actually, Purva means former, and Uttara means latter. So Purva Ashada deals with the former and the beginning, invincible star. It deals with justice. It deals with righteousness. It deals with truth and fact-finding. But when it gets into Uttara Ashada, which means later victory or the latter victory, this particular nakshatra is called the unchallengeable victory. It's like this one is very, very strong with its righteousness. Although I will say, they say Purva Ashada is stronger and harsher than Uttara Ashada. So I think once we get into Uttara, things will tend to lighten up a little bit. But what's interesting that's said about Uttara Ashada, it deals specifically with integrity and being honest. So there's a lot that's going to come out in truth and fact finding. And it's also called the nakshatra of the laws of time, or karma. So karma's going to play out big time. Instant karma is going to come and get you at this time. But no, really, this is the time where karmic debts are going to be paid. And whoever has been dishonest will have to pay the retribution. And this goes in all areas of everyone's life, not just universally for the planet, but for you individually. Be aware of this. And Uttara Ashada is called the universal star. So I think what that's kind of getting at is this star will bring more peace, but after the blow-ups and the destruction of things that are here to come, with Mars as it transits through this very, very interesting portion of the zodiac in Sagittarius, dealing with facts and truth finding and laws and justice. This is the sign of Sagittarius. This deals with the laws. This deals with coming together with truth. And everything that has been surfacing, finally, I think this is a big blow up and blow out while Mars is in this sign. And as the day it crosses into this sign, crossing over Mercury will be the beginning of what we're going to see throughout the month of January. So look out between December 27th and February 5th. We are faced with some very harsh realities that are going to bring out the truth, that are going to cause some blow-ups, and definitely with communications or travels, be careful. That's what this Mars and Mercury could bring about. And probably more than anything, definitely flight delays and problems while Mercury is retrograde, especially being aggravated by the transit of Mars. So look out, be cautious when traveling, take care, and don't be in a rush, especially even traveling on the road. So with that, I think I'll close just to give you a little information of the planetary energy and how you can use it to help give guidance and make your plans for the holidays and the future. So with that, I'll close. And remember, if you want to learn more about me, get a reading or join my university, first go to galacticcenter.org. That's my website. Or go to my university website, which is universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.